All right, hey guys, so let's take a look at what this trick looks like from my perspective. Okay, so let's jump right in. First things first with this trick, it can be very helpful if you already know how to do the reverse Brent stole yo trick. If you don't know that one, this trick can be a little bit difficult. Some people are able to do this trick without learning the reverse Brent stole first, but in my opinion, it's easiest if you know that one. All right, so the first thing that you're gonna do is take your pointer finger of your non-throw hand and put it under the string just like this. Okay, and so now that we have our finger under here, we're gonna be whipping the string in a counterclockwise motion like this. So you want this string to just kind of swoop over like that. And then from that whip right there, we're gonna land the yo onto the string that it's actually connected to. So just like that. Now this motion can be kind of weird because a lot of you guys might be used to whipping into actual like mounts like that with the reverse Brent stole or anything like a negative hook. With this one, you're just whipping onto this very string. So in order to do that, you're gonna again push this finger right here, allow the slack to carry over, and you're gonna land on this string and immediately pinch with this hand right here. So you just wanna catch that string that comes around with your pointer finger and your thumb and pinch immediately like that. So that's how the slack right there is going to form. So this is a very similar motion to the reverse Brent stole, because with the reverse Brent stole, you would land like this. With this one, you're just kind of doing a similar motion, but landing on that string right there. All right, so this is kind of like your first progression with this trick. In my opinion, this trick is easiest to learn in a couple of progressions, but make sure that you're getting this step down pretty consistently, just landing on that string, pinching immediately, and making that slack form right there. The next step is you're gonna just basically want to whip harder. So try to get that string to really whip around like that. And at that time, you notice that the string actually whipped around the back half of the yo-yo. And so that's kind of an element that I think is really important, is you want to whip hard with this. You want the slack to really carry over. And so yeah, basically once we're here, whip a little bit harder and see if you can get that slack to travel around the back half of the yo-yo. If you guys don't know what I mean, I'm going to show you a slow motion version of what's actually happening with this trick. Okay, so hopefully that makes some sense, because actually what's happening is this string right here is looping over the back half of the yo-yo like this. And then from there, you complete the trick, which I'll talk about in just a bit. However, here's another tip for this trick if you're not really just getting it, because this trick does take a little bit of finagling. You kind of have to find the perfect balance between, the speed of your whip and how you move your hands with this, and it can be a little bit difficult. It's just whatever works best for you. But another tip that I have is try to pull these two hands apart a little bit once you land on the string. What this can kind of do is force the slack to move over the back half of the yo-yo. So when I do this whip like this, you'll notice if I move my hands apart a little bit, the slack almost kind of wants to carry over. So just like that. I move these hands, I pull them apart like that, and the slack just kind of goes naturally over. Now to conclude this trick, once you are in this mount and the actual slack has wrapped over, you can bounce the yo-yo a couple times on the string, just pull your hands apart and bounce it into the air. However, as you did notice there, it is a little bit snaggy, so just be careful with that. But again, once you're there, bounce it a couple times, and then from there, you can complete the upside down green triangle by just popping out the front, like that. And so that basically is it for the trick. There's really not too much to it. There really just are kind of like two steps to this trick. It's just getting into the mount, and then eventually dismounting. In general, I think this trick can look really flashy when presented correctly. And here's what I mean by this. It's important to kind of like not stop at this point. Once you kind of caught the yo-yo and the slack has wrapped around, I think it looks especially cool if you just kind of automatically start bouncing the yo-yo. And one more thing, you can actually get into this kind of like whipping fashion in a variety of different ways. I know a bunch of different players kind of incorporate into their combos so that it flows smoothly, but you can also just kind of like start from a trapeze and get into a similar mount just like that. It's just kind of whatever works best with your combo or whatever you're working on, you can get into this mount just by whipping in a counterclockwise motion like that. All right, so one more time, I'm gonna go through this trick and then you guys will be on your way. So again, we'll start here. We're gonna push like this with our pointer finger of our non-throw hand, and we're gonna whip around, catch it like that. However, you're gonna wanna whip fast and you're gonna wanna pull your hands apart in order for the slack to rotate around. Once you're here, you can bounce the yo-yo a couple times and pop out just like so.